Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
To open the banking page in QuickBooks Online to link accounts or import account transactions or view and manage these transactions, hover over the banking link, called the Transactions link if using the Business View, in the navigation bar of QuickBooks Online. Then click the banking link in the side menu of choices that appears. Alternatively, click the Banking or Transactions link in the navigation bar, and then click the Banking tab at the top of the page that appears to the right. To connect actual bank or credit card accounts to QuickBooks Online to download transactions from online feeds, or to import actual banking transactions by uploading a CSV, QFX, QBO, or OFX bank account transaction file, open the banking page. The first time you visit this page, to connect an account, click the Connect Account button. Alternatively, to import banking transactions, click the Upload Transactions button. After initially linking an account or importing transactions, the linked or imported account and transactions then appear on this page when you view it in the future. You can use the drop-down in the upper left corner of this page to select the name of the account to view. Its transactions then appear on the For Review, Categorized, and Excluded tabs below. You can click each tab to see the account transactions for each transaction category. After initially linking or importing transactions for an account, to link a new account or upload transactions from a file, click or select either the Link Account or Upload from File choice as needed from the drop-down button in the upper right corner of the page. Then step through the related wizard that opens in a new window to either link a new account or import account transactions from a file. Also, note that this drop-down button in the upper right corner also contains an Order Checks link that you can select to open a page that lets you order checks from QuickBooks Online if desired. For the selected bank account, the For Review tab shows transactions you uploaded or downloaded and need to review in the list below. The Categorize tab shows matched or added transactions in QuickBooks. Finally, the Excluded tab shows any transactions you excluded. Clicking the Go to Bank Register link at the far right side of the page opens the account register in QuickBooks Online. To view the transactions, click the For Review tab. To filter the list by dates, click the All Dates drop-down in the upper left corner of the list and then select or type the dates to show by using the Date and/or the From and To filtering fields in the drop-down menu. Then click the Apply button to apply the date filter, or click the Reset button to reset the date filter. To filter the transactions by status, select a status from the drop-down to the right of the Dates filter. When applied, you can click the X button next to a status filter to clear it and show all transactions again. Alternatively, to find transactions by description, account number, or amount, type the term to find into the Search by Description, Check Number, or Amount field, and then click the magnifying glass button at the right end of the field. Matching transactions then appear in the list, and the filtering criteria appears at the right end of the field. You can click the X by the name of this filtering criteria to clear it when finished to show all transactions again. Like other lists, in the upper right corner of the For Review transaction list are three buttons for Print List, Export to Excel, and Settings. To open a printer-friendly list page and open your web browser's print dialog box to print the page, click the Print List button. You can close this page after printing it. To download the list as an Excel workbook, click the Export to Excel button. To show the list display options in a drop-down menu, click the Settings button. Under the Columns heading in the drop-down menu, you can check or uncheck the names of the columns to show or hide them in the list. To enable transaction grouping, toggle the Turn on Grouping toggle switch to the on position. Under the Transaction Details section of the drop-down menu, check or uncheck the options to enable or disable each one as desired. Under the Page Size section, select the desired option button for the number of transactions to show per page in the list. Note that the page size setting is the only setting that appears for transactions on the Categorized and Excluded tabs. To match transactions QuickBooks Online recognizes in the account to transactions you've entered, click the Match link at the right end of the transaction row to move the item to the Categorized tab. To review a transaction in more detail or edit it, click its row to expand it and see its details. You can click the X button in the upper right corner of the expanded transaction to close it if desired. To perform the related action for the existing transaction data as is, click the corresponding link in its action column. For example, to quickly add a transfer transaction that was correctly categorized by QuickBooks Online when imported, but that you forgot to record in QuickBooks Online before importing it, click its transfer link under its action column. For unmatched transactions not recorded in QuickBooks Online, you should edit the transactions, or at least review them for accounting accuracy before adding them. To review and add an unmatched transaction, click the transaction row to expand it. Then select the Categorize option button at the top of the expanded section. Then edit the transaction's information to add missing data or change the account category as needed by using the fields available. When satisfied, then click the Add button to add it to the Categorized tab. If needed to split the transaction to multiple accounts, click the Split button at the bottom of the expanded section to open a split transaction window where you can split the total transaction amount to multiple accounts. If you do this, then click the Apply and Accept button in this window when finished to add it to the Categorized tab, or click the Cancel button to cancel the split. Alternatively, to mark a transaction as a transfer or credit card payment if available, you can also select the Record as Transfer or Record as Credit Card Payment option button at the top of the expanded transaction section. Then use the fields that appear to select the correct accounts for the transfer or credit card payment, and then click the Record Transfer or Add button as needed. Alternatively, to attempt to find matching transactions, select the Find Match option button at the top of the expanded transaction to open a window that shows possible transaction matches. If there is a matching transaction in the list in the window that opens, you can check the checkbox to the left of the transaction to select it, and then click the Save button at the bottom of the window to save the match. If appropriate matches aren't found, you can just click the Cancel button in this window to close it. Alternatively, to exclude the transaction if needed, click the Exclude button at the bottom of the expanded section to move it to the Excluded tab. Also note the Add Attachment button in this same area, which you can click to add an attachment to the transaction, and the Create a Rule button, which you can click to create a rule using the transaction's criteria if needed, in the Create Rule pane that then appears at the right side of the window. We'll examine creating rules in the next lesson. If needed, to add, edit, or exclude multiple items on the For Review tab, check the checkboxes next to the transactions to select them as a batch. At that point, a new section then appears under the tab names at the top of the page. To accept all the transactions as they are, click the Accept button in this new section. Alternatively, to update them all with the same information, click the Update button, and then select the information with which to update the selected records from the drop-downs in the Update Selected window that opens. To cancel the update if needed, click the Cancel button in this window. To only apply the update but not accept the transactions, click the Apply button. To both apply the update and accept the transactions, click the Apply and Accept button in this window instead. Alternatively, to exclude all the selected transactions, click the Exclude button in this new section. To review the transactions, move to the Categorized or Excluded tabs. Click the desired tab name at the top of the banking page. To undo a transaction, categorization, or exclusion, click the Undo link in its Action column to move the transaction back to the For Review tab. Alternatively, to undo multiple transaction categorizations or exclusions, check the checkboxes next to multiple transactions to select them. Then click the Undo button that appears in the new section under the tab names at the top of the page to move the selected transactions back to the For Review tab.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.